fire.
I won't be the guest of honor at the party tonight. You can find somebody.
You wait.
We'll wait. Your party life. And I hope you have a good time. I hope he treats you right. I won't be the
What in the hell is that?
That is strange.
What is? What are you guys looking at? Looks like the sunset to me.
No, Greg, that's east. Sunset behind us 20 minutes ago.
Well, what do you think it is then?
Maybe a fire, maybe a plane crash in the woods.
Yeah, plane crash. It could be. Christ, man.
Hey, what the hell is that?
Maybe we should just turn back, huh?
That's gotta be a fire.
Look, it's moving. I saw it.
It isn't moving, Bobby.
Look, man.
Is it? That's one monster forest fire.
Yeah, fire my ass.
That ain't no fire, man. What else could it be?
What the heck is going on here, Mike? Are you screwing around? No. Look, Mike, maybe we gotta do like Greg says and just pull over for a minute.
So,
No, Mike, I want to see what it is. There's only one road out of here, and we're on it. If that's a fire, we can't get around it. We're gonna be spending the night out here. Stop, Mike! Stop the truck! Travis!
Travis! You son of a bitch!
The hell you doing? Get back in the truck, asshole!
What's that? What's that thing?
Oh, my God.
Travis! What the hell's he doing out there?
Get back to the truck!
What the hell is that?
Travis!
Get back in the truck!
Get out of there! What is that?
I don't know what that is.
Hey, Mike! Travis, get out of there!
Leave this son of a bitch here if he's gonna be an asshole!
Travis,
Get back here!
Travis!
What the hell is that?
You feel that? Travis! Get
What's going on, friends? Welcome to Conspiracy Couch, episode number, I'm not fully sure. Maybe Foyle could clue me in on
17.
that. Episode 17. Look at that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right.
Alien abduction. This is wonderful. Can't wait to get into all this. I hope you guys enjoyed the clip from Fire in the Sky. What's going on, Woke Society? So happy to have you here with us tonight for this exciting ET episode.
Yes, I'm so glad this is the topic tonight. I love talking news, but I love talking aliens just as well. So thank you, Alara and Foyle, for having me on tonight. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, for sure.
buddy.
This is gonna be awesome. Let me go pull up let's see. Let me go
I hope you know that I picture every alien abduction going down like this. just so we can get that out of the way, right?
I've never seen that before. That was the first time I ever saw
Oh,
that.
Really?
it gets worse.
Well, here's the thing about
It gets worse.
here's the thing about Fire in the Sky. I'm gonna say this since I played that clip. Okay, it's what?
They just yoked us off YouTube.
Oh man.
Policy violations. Can you toggle it? Will it go back?
I don't know that I really particularly want to.
Right. I'll tell
You know
people.
what I mean? Like,
No worries. Yeah, right. I'll tell them to relocate.
There you
yeah,
go.
just
Drop
tell.
it.
We're on D Live, we're on Twitch, we're on Rockfin, we're on Foxhole, Pill.net. Just if you clan Foyle, just drop links to some of the other platforms and tell them to just move locations. I didn't even think about the fact that we would get.
I thought about it after the fact.
Yeah,
as
after it
you
was
see.
already rolling. Yeah, I just hope I don't get a
Right.
strike for that. But hey, whatever. So, what was I saying? Okay, so
Here's
yeah,
the thing
guys,
with Fire in the Sky.
please. Here's the thing with Fire in the Sky.
Right.
Allegedly, even Travis Walton has said this. I think he even made a film about this, where he said what Hollywood did with that was completely false. Like it was not a negative experience. And allegedly, he says that what happened was they think maybe that like the ship was broken down or something, and they were trying to repair it. And what he rolled up on him, you know what I mean? He literally rolled up on him, and then that light came down and did what it was supposed to do, or it went off when it wasn't because it got triggered by his presence. And then it hurt him physically. It broke his back. It did something to him that would have been irreparable. So the ETs took him on the ship. They fixed him up and they dropped him back in space and time at that phone booth where he got picked up. So,
Wow.
but he said he was so freaked out by the experience, that it took him a long time. And I understand this. And I know that you'd understand this too, Scott. Like on some level, it took him a long time to understand what had just happened to him. When something like that happens to you, it takes you a long time to process what just happened to you. And you probably go through a series of events trying to figure out like a series of changes. I've gone through that with myself. My understanding of the experiences I've had now is completely different than it was when it first happened. I didn't know what to think when it first happened. I had no idea what was happening. What about you, Scott?
Yeah, it was the same thing. I mean, when I was going through that whole awakening process, the spiritual side of it too, was, I got really into meditation for a long time. I've kind of slacked lately, but when I was in the thick of it, when I was just coming across all this new knowledge, letting go of some religious things that I was keeping, that was holding me back. I've said this, I told a story where I got into that meditative state and I was outside and I just got into this state. And the next thing I know, I feel like I'm out of my body and inside of a craft. And it happened just like that. And it feels different, but at the same time, you're like, what the F is going on right now? You have no idea what's going on. Something's going on, but you haven't never experienced it. And it was, the feeling that I had was very welcoming. It felt like love. The best way you could put it. It just felt like an overwhelming feeling of gratitude and love. It was nothing evil, but it's like your brain it feels like it's on high powered drugs on top of it. Mm-hmm. I can't explain it. But it was nothing bad. It was nothing like that. My back didn't get broken. So
that's the important part, man. That's the important part.
Yeah. And I told Alara this, on her show when I was on the last time, it felt like I was with family. It felt like I was whoever it was, whoever they were, it felt like family. And it's really crazy.
That must be cool. See, I haven't had an experience like that where the extraterrestrial presence that I feel around me has taken me on a ship and I've gotten to hang out with them and stuff. Like that's pretty cool. Like that you've experienced that. Like, my craziest experience of all of the ones I've had it wasn't ETs, it was us. You know what I mean? So it wasn't different. There wasn't that love vibration and that safety. It was straight up scary, more like this. It was just scary. Like what is happening right now? You know what I mean? What is going to happen to me next?
Yep. And I can tell you what spurred this on, because before that happened, we had linked up, me and my wife had linked up with two psychics, and we were learning about the Akashic records. and we were learning about past lives and getting into that state. And they actually walked us through. And ever since we started working with them, all those like doors, I feel like the amnesia of past lives started to come back. And I started having dreams about these blue beings. And it always in this meditative state, I would always be this tall, like 8-9 foot blue being, super skinny. And I was like guarding this gigantic ass pyramid. It was not on this planet. It was a totally different planet. And I would just that always came back. And when I had that meditation experience, you know, it kind of felt like that's who I was with, but I couldn't nail it down. But that's what it felt like. But all that played into my journey, into what I experienced. And it was all this stuff got unlocked, and it was blockages. And I think a lot of people have these blockages, and I'm no one special. And I think anyone can have these experiences. It's just have to open yourself up to it and not be fearful. Just get rid of the fear, and a lot of things will start happening in your life that you would never expect.
You hear that, Foil?
Oh, I'm listening, man. I'm listening. Yeah,
You hear that,
I tell
Foil?
Laura I tell Laura all the time, I'm very careful what I open my mind up to, just because I've had really bad experiences in the past.
And that's good. That's good though that you are.
But I'm
But
considerate
I
of her
believe
beliefs.
in that, and I'm with you.
I'm considerate of her beliefs. I understand that she has a different belief system than me, and I try not, I try not to. I mean, we get into it sometimes about it. Yeah, but we argue about aliens and demons and stuff quite a bit. But we try not. I try not to. You know, she has to really trigger me for me to be like, they're not demons. Shut up, Foil. You know what I mean?
I don't think they're all bad. We've had this talk. I just think the ones that are here are on some.
She thinks the ones on Earth. Well, I mean, the law of one kind of backs you up. Honestly, on that
are finagling, that are shucking and jiving the government and stuff. Like, there's nothing good can come from that. Now, you know, celestial energy beings that are sending, you know, visions of light, you know, maybe. But if, you know, the lizards and the gray folks that are down here, you know, tricking people into shenanigans, now I can't co-sign that.
Yeah, I feel you. I totally feel you. All right, so let's maybe, why don't we do this first, if this is cool. We can go into some of what happened to you, Scott, so that everybody that's new and hasn't seen the episode we did kind of knows what happened. And then maybe we can cover some of these kind of famous UFO abduction cases, and then open it up for callers. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. I'm down.
Okay.
It's funny. Someone wrote in the chat, woke to the 25 and back program. Maybe I did. I have no idea. I wouldn't know. I don't remember, but that would be pretty awesome. I would love that. Jeez.
Yeah. I can't talk. Part-time space operator and part-time podcaster.
Space operator.
Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, I'm battling scorpion aliens on different planets on the side.
Oh, not the scorpion aliens, bro. That sounds rough. All right.
It's just part time.
Right. Well, then that's all right. I guess that'll work.
All right. So go ahead. Let's fill them in on kind of what is that what woke you up, Scott? I'm trying to remember, or was it something else that woke you up?
I mean, the thing is, this is why I credit my wife with so much of this. My wife and my mother, she gave me this book. My mom gave me this book called Conversations with God. And when I first read it, I was like, when I first saw the title, I'm like, what is this? And it wasn't anything like, you know, Christian or anything like that. It was just this man's experience with meditation. And I read the entire, he has a full, I can't remember the name at the time. He's got a 4-book series. I read this first book and it changed my entire worldview. Because the man, he has a very special story where he's asking God very specific questions about, and one of those things was aliens. And, you know, he basically what this man said, interpreted from what he was gathering was, yeah, even the aliens that I created, those are real. And just like everything else in this world, they're bad and good. There's always a balance of good and evil. And I was always told growing up, you know, those things are all demons. Everything you see that is not of God is evil.
Right.
And I just always had that never sat well with me. I'm like, well, there's good people and bad people. Why can't there be other beings that are the same thing? So that kind of got me on the path. And then my wife introduced me to this channel called Gaia. And guys, this is, again, you might recognize these names. I've come a long way. I got into Corey Good, David Wilcock. You know, Corey's Good story really changed my, you know, view of with the secret space programs and the government hiding stuff. I'm like, well, this totally makes sense. I mean, I just had a kind of awakening with Trump from the mainstream media. And I was like, well, why wouldn't they lie about this too, you know? So I credit my wife with a lot of that, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have gone down this rabbit hole. And I was driving her crazy for like a month straight. I watched every episode of Corey's Good Story. It was like 300 something episodes.
Right.
And I binge watched this thing for like 3 weeks. And it was I come home from work. I just sit on the couch and like, I need to know more about this guy. I need to know more about this. And that started leading me down to getting, you know, more meditation, more praying, more getting into myself and all that. And then I came across Stephen Greer and his whole entire thing about how he was able to kind of meditate to contact beings and stuff. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And I was kind of like foiled. I'm like, should I try it? Should I do it?
Right. Like, I don't know.
And I thought about it, and you know, I got into it, and it was like, oh, this isn't too bad. And I was already working with these. I was already working with the psychics too, and they told me if you're going, and they worked with other beings and stuff. Like, if you're going to do this, you have to be grounded. You cannot be all over the place. I might have to kick my son out in 2 seconds. I'm sorry. Yeah. And I feel like I needed training before I opened myself by myself to these things, and that's what I did. That's exactly what I did. And the one day that I went outside, I felt that something was telling me, like, you need to go outside. You need to go outside and you need to meditate. You need to get into this state of mind of just love and gratitude. It was so heavy. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I got to kick him out.
Yeah, you're good.
This is why we're moving.
New York life, man.
Yeah, this 1-bedroom apartment ain't working. It's not working anymore. So what I was doing was I got into this. I had to go outside. It was right in the middle during the day. I won't ever forget it. I sat in my chair and I just started meditating. And I was like, if there is something out there that is wanting to connect with me right now, because that's what it felt like. Something in the sky was like, yo, we need to meet up. Like, someone was like hanging out, like, yo, we need to hang out again.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what it felt like. So I got in there, and the next thing I know, I was probably meditating for about a good half hour. And it felt like something had just taken over. I felt like I blanked out, and then I felt like I was out of my body and I couldn't control it. And it was really, really strange. And I saw this, it looked like a disc. It was, their color, it had to have looked gray. Metallic-y. It was, you could not hear this thing. And it was probably maybe 40 feet away. And the next thing I know, I was on it. And after that, I don't remember anything else. And then I came back to, I was in my chair, and when I came back, I felt like all this energy was just pulsating through me. Like I could almost fly myself. And it was just like, I can't really explain it unless you've gone through it yourself. It's really hard to explain. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. This is,
No worries.
It's okay. This is a really laid back, late night call-in show. You're good, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much my sped up story about it. It just, when I got up there, it felt like I was hanging out with souls that I have known for God knows thousands of years. That's what it feels like. And my whole view on the world has completely changed. A lot of people think you come down here, you live once, and then you're dead. My experience that I've come to find, there are things that we do not understand. This is just one dimension. There's all different kinds of dimensions. Physics is not what we think it is. Everything we're taught is what we know on this planet. But there is so much there. I can't just imagine a life where one soul, we just go somewhere after that. I feel like we go into several beings, several dimensions, and our souls are always eternally trying to figure out who we are. We have to experience ourselves and know thyself. And I really feel like that is just a never ending cycle of just learning other species, learning who we are, and learning as souls. And that was my takeaway from a lot of it, because I felt like I was with family, but I've never met these people, not in this reality. When I was up there, I was like, yo, what's up, man? It felt like a reunion. And I don't remember what was said, what happened, but I remember just coming back down. It's just like, I almost felt sad that it was over, because it was like they left. I haven't had that happen ever again. And honestly, I've never really wanted to, which is the strange part. I've had it happen once, and it's just like, that was good enough to show me like, shit. Yeah. People that think they got this all figured out. I don't have it all figured out. The people that think they know it all and saying, things like all aliens are demons and all that stuff. It's just like, it's just, to me, it's like, people have no clue, and I'm not special by any means. And it's just like, there's so much more out there that we just don't know, or it's being hidden. I think we do know, but it's certainly being hidden from us, because if I could do it, I mean, geez, anyone can have that experience. And it wasn't hard to do. I didn't do anything special, nothing special at all. I mean, I was just meditating, and that's what happened. And, you know, it was kind of scary, but at the end of it, it was like, I wanted to go see them again, but maybe one day, you know, but that was kind of like my big experience. And after that, I mean, geez, I never looked at the world the same way again.
I bet.
You were seeking the creator. That's my way of describing it. You were seeking to evolve, and you were seeking the creator. I was in a similar frame of mind, kind of similar, when this happened to me. So I really think that that's kind of what it comes down to, is just when you're seeking on a really deep level to understand what's happening and to understand truths that you know to be true, but you've never seen evidence for. I think that's when these kind of events present themselves. Thank you, Mystic Wanderer, for the phone, a phone for ET to call home. Thank you so much. That's great.
All right. And Matt 1776 for the cookie.
Yeah, I watched a lot of Goods and Wilcox material as well. Yeah, I told you before, Scott, when you were on last time, I did the same exact thing. I did that with all of Corey Good and David Wilcox stuff, and I also did that with the Law of One. I literally picked it up and didn't put it down until I was done with it.
I think we all binge watched all of that.
You should have seen. I wanted to show my parents this. You know, this was still when they were still in the church. My dad's like, wait, what?
Right.
I did the same thing to my mom. I did the same exact thing to her.
Yeah. I'm like, you got to watch this. I'm like, I don't think this man's making, and that's the thing. I've gotten away from Corey Good and David Wilcock, but I have to admit, I am grateful for the things that I learned at that time, because it sped me on to learn and move on to other things. But if it wasn't for them, I don't know how far I would have gotten. Now it's just like, we're kind of like more mature. We kind of know our shit. So we know who's who. So I will always be thankful for that experience.
I agree. Doesn't, regardless of Corey, what people's opinions are, what he's doing, none of that. Corey was an important part of my path of understanding. It's that simple. Yep. Like, he was. And for me, it's like, with my particular experience, I mean, I literally didn't understand what had happened to me. I didn't understand where that ship came from. I didn't understand whose ship it was. It was me watching his shows. I think he was a trigger for a lot of people, because it was me watching his shows is how I first initially figured it out. I saw his artists draw the ship. And I saw him describe it in the exact way that it appeared to me. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's telling the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you pick that stuff up.
You can't, that's when I knew. I already knew on a resonance level that he was telling the truth, but that was like, for me, I guess that was the synchronicity I needed to be like, oh no, you're right. He is telling the truth. Oh, and that, once you realize that, you got to relearn everything. Because it's like, oh no, the lie is that big. It's huge. Yeah.
To me, it's the biggest lie of all, because if that were to get out to the masses, I mean, these audits, this voting, people are like, well, fuck this. I mean, geez, there's other speakers out here. Like, this changes religion. This changes everything. It's like, well, what the hell? What are we doing?
Yeah.
You know, and I always say, like, people always ask me, like, Scott, well, why don't the aliens just reveal themselves? Me personally, I think there are universal laws that all these beings, some break, but most don't. They don't play that game. Mm-hmm. And I really feel like they're probably like, we cannot interfere with the humans' evolution. We cannot mess with. They have to learn on their own. We can't just come down and just tell these people to do what we do. It's just not going to work. Yeah. It won't work. And I always tell people that all the time. This is why these beings can't just come down here and just tell us how to live. It won't work. So I always get that question, and I really believe they're just watching. They're sitting back on the moon somewhere with popcorn. They're like, look at these idiots groveling and fighting each other. When are they
monkeys, right?
When are they going to unite and take out these bad people, this small group of people themselves, and wake the hell up? That's all they're waiting for, guys. They're out there.
That's exactly the point. We completely agree on. That's exactly what they're waiting for. If they just come down here and save us, we won't evolve into these strong, amazing beings that we are going to become in the future. So they can't just come out and do it. We have to grow a sack and deal with our own problems. And we have to you know what I mean? We have to unite as one. Like, that's period. That's what they're waiting for. They're not going to show up until then. Like
the prime directive, right? They've got their, I'm with that.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
That's
but that's why I make that argument all the time, that the ones that are down here causing shenanigans are up to no good, because the ones that respect evolution, that respect our place in the universe, would be the ones sitting back like, all right, they got to figure this out,
Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah.
shut the nukes down because they don't want us to blow the planet up. Because
Well, yeah, there's that.
That
I mean,
affects
yeah,
them.
that-
It
that
also
makes sense.
affects our souls. Actually, it goes way beyond our physical body. It affects our actual souls
Right.
in a negative way to be blown up in that fashion.
That's what I'm saying. I've seen so many stories of nuclear silos getting shut down, and not just the opposite too, of scientists working on some technology. They leave the room. They cannot figure out this one thing they need to get their device to where they come back and whatever it was is fixed and it's ready to go. And they're like, we didn't do that.
Yep.
That was not there yesterday. And you can't tell me that, there's some kind of intervention going on to kind of like, come on, guys, like you're so close, but don't nuke yourselves. All right. That's
like rule number one.
Yeah, they try to keep us from doing that. No,
they were probably very upset about the nuclear technology. You have to believe, you have to wonder that.
Oh, they all started coming around when we got into that. That's the moment they all started showing up. Remember? As soon as that bomb went off, they were popping it, phasing in and out, watching everything after that.
Yeah. Yep. And that's the thing I want people to realize too. I was watching something with my wife about these ancient civilizations, and the furthest one I saw on this show that I was watching was 17,000 years old. And that's not coincidental. It was 17,000 years old. And you have to think about this planet supposedly 4 billion years old. That is a droplet of how far back that we can take humans as far as these buildings that they have, rocks cut, like hundreds and thousands of tons of rock. How did they move this stuff? This was ancient civilizations. And you got to wonder, like, when these aliens see like these nuclear bombs, they're like, hey, we were here a long time ago. We really like this place. We a lot of us have been here. Don't blow it up or kill it, please. And I feel like that's definitely part of it.
Yeah.
But when, I try to get people to have that perspective, like we've only been here for such a small period of time. We cannot be naive enough to think that other things were here before us and they were prospering. Right. For me, it's the only way to think about what our history was.
Right.
For sure.
Definitely. All right, so if you want, let's go through a couple of these ET stories that are kind of. I think this. How do you say Pascagoula?
Pascagoula.
I think this Pascagoula event is really. Can we even play these videos, Phil? We just got yoked for that fire in the sky clip.
That was from a movie. I mean, this I don't know which one it is.
Well, Project Blue Book. That's if they took that down, they're likely to take that one down. So let's just stick with the articles, man, because it doesn't matter. We're not even on YouTube anymore now.
I mean, what are they gonna do? Yoke us twice? Thanks for the shades, Just Jules, and thank you, M1911 Zoom for the can. Much love, much love.
Yeah, if you could kind of keep, thank you, Fool, because I got
you.
Okay, cool. So yeah, let me show everybody in the audience. So this account, why I think this account is so interesting. Number one, because it's legit, but number two is because this gentleman here, he's talked about in the Law of One, his story. And so if you really kind of go through the Law of One, it says that most of the beings that show up here are part of the Orion group, which essentially is negative extraterrestrials, which we already kind of know. It's the reptilians and the grays and the ones that have an agenda that are service to self. But it says in the Law of One, I'll show you real quick and then I'll show you this guy's case. It says that this was the one case. It says, questioner, was the landing at Pascagoula in 1973 when Charlie Hickson was taken on board this type of landing? And the questioner is asking, was it an Orion landing? Was it negative? Was it one of the Orion group? Because they say there's two kinds of landings that take place here. One of them, hold on, let me explain this real quick. So one of the types of landings is thought forms. So the Confederation, the good guys, they send thought forms into our dimension to help us expand our minds and to learn, right? So those would be your service to others experiences where you feel love and you feel joy. That would be the sign of, they say in the Law of One, that would be a sign of the Confederation. And then you have your negative ones where they actually get off the ships and they make deals with the governments and all that. And they say that's the Orion group. That's the reptiles, the grays, etc. Okay. And they said, but there was this one event that happened, which is the Pascagoula event in 1973. And that one was neither. So it says, the landing of which you speak was what you would call an anomaly. It was neither the Orion influence nor our peoples in thought form, but rather a planetary entity of your own vibration, which came through quarantine in all innocence in a random landing. So I think makes it kind of interesting about this story. And let me kind of show you guys this guy's story here. I guess we can play the Project Blue Book one about it. since we're not on YouTube.
Oh, we are on YouTube.
I thought we were down.
They put us back up.
They're playing games.
Yeah, oh yeah. Listen, man, you
They
missed. I
put
don't
us
know if
back
you ever
up?
catch Space Force
Should-
News,
I
Scott,
can't
but
play
it was
this then.
shenanigans last week. Like
Oh,
they
it was
pulled us down.
nuts.
Man, yeah, kicked my Zoom. Alara couldn't even get the stream to start. Like it was all ruckus.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
If I play this Project Blue Book, I can't then if we're back on YouTube. We can't do that. Because they'll probably nail us for this one here. It's 2 minutes. Right? I don't know. You guys, I don't know. Scott probably knows better than I do. So let's just go with the article, right? Because since I don't know why we're even on YouTube.
It's up to you. I don't
All
care.
right. So they had, hold on, they had a video
So
recording.
did he get abducted?
Where's the
this
video
guy?
recording? The video recording was in here. Yeah, this guy got abducted. I was looking for the video recording. It was right here. I don't know where it went.
Did they
What is-
probe him?
Uh,
This seems to be the determiner
I-
as
I
to whether or
can't
not it
find-
was a positive or a negative ET. I think the cool ones probably don't do the probes.
Okay, so
and then you've got the other guys, right?
I thought we were gonna play the videos. This is gonna be a problem. So basically, he was picked up. I can kind of tell what I know because if I try to read through the article, it's gonna take too much time up, I think. But he basically got taken on the ship. They did something. They were checking him out, and then they kind of let him go, type of thing. That's my understanding of it. But it's been a while since I've really read the story. So I was hoping to play. There was a recording right here. I don't know where it went. Let me try to refresh it and see if I can get it to come back. There it is. There we go.
Like the news story?
No, him talking about it.
You hear about something like that, but you can't believe it.
Yeah, he hears that. I know. Yeah, I know.
Where is something the United States can have up there?
No,
They wouldn't done no
not what we see, though. Not what we see. It's something, and the Air Force and all know it's up there, too, see. And this ain't gonna be the only time that's gonna happen again. Until they...
This shit's I'm like had a heart attack tonight, ain't she?
I know.
I come one down each
I know
day.
that scared me to death, too, something.
I'm just laying there crying right now. I can't
Yeah, I
help
know that. It's something that you can't get over in a lifetime, see. Jesus Christ.
What's so damn bad about it? Nobody believes. That's
And
what
I
I'm
thought I had been through enough of hell on this earth, and now I have to go through something like that, see. But they could have, I guess they could have harmed us, son. They could have done anything to us if they didn't hurt me.
Maybe why they just picked us?
I don't know. I'm telling you, man, I couldn't take much more than that.
I know you home get to bed and get some nerve pills or something, see the doctor or something. I can't stand it. I'm back to all the pain.
I'll take you by when they get through us, we'll go by I'll get you something, settle you down with so you get some damn sleep.
I can sleep about like it is, but I'm just laying here crazy.
But yeah, when they brought you out of that damn thing, and when they brought me out, well, I like to know where the hell you go. God damn, I like to know where the hell got you straightened out, man.
I didn't know it, though. I remember my heart, they just froze out just like that. I couldn't move, just like I slept on a damn rattlesnake.
But they didn't do me that way, though.
I passed out. I passed out. That's the first time I ever passed out in my life. You check the new medical records. It is.
I've never seen nothing like that before in my life. That's how you can't make people believe that, though.
I don't know if you're going to believe it or not, because I
They
never
better wake up and start believing.
damn
They
right.
better wake up and start believing.
Damn right. Listen,
That way I
I
see no believe.
I can't figure out the damn door. You see how that door will come around on that side of the chair?
Yeah, I don't know how to open something. I don't know.
I didn't see no door swing.
I don't know how to open. I don't know how to
Shit on it. All right,
You see something like
and look around, and them damn blue lights and them son of bitches, just like that, they come out.
You already know I believe these guys.
I paralyzed right there. I couldn't
They
move.
won't believe it one of these days. They won't believe it one of these days. Might be too late. I knew all along there was people from outer world up there. I knew all along.
Well, there it is.
You know I believe you already know why I believe those guys too. He said them some bitches come them red and blue lights. He said them people don't believe. They better wake up and believe.
Move.
I know, right? He said like stepping on a rattlesnake. I said, oh Lord.
So yeah, you can find videos if you guys aren't familiar with that story. You can find videos about those guys and their story, where you can actually hear them talking and this and that. But it's interesting because it's even talked about in the Law of One, their particular case and what it was. And so that's why I think that's fascinating. Also, there's like Betty and Barney Hill, though. I don't.
Man, that was the first reported case in the U.S.
What about this one?
Right, and that was what in the 50s. Like that, I absolutely believe. I mean, they
by aliens. Some.
To the day they died, stuck by their story.
What was this Action News clip right here? Let me play this real quick. It was something we wanted to play. What was it?
Call it absolutely bogus. But for a man in Mississippi, it certainly was very real.
That's right. As Scripps reporter Chloe Norquist explains,
story.
He's trying to lead a normal life while searching for answers decades later.
Pascagoula, Mississippi. A small, laid-back town home to America's largest military shipbuilding company, Gulf beaches, and lots of seafood.
God, family, and fishing. That's what it is.
But this southern town was thrown into the national spotlight in the 1970s for a completely different reason.
My name's Calvin Parker. I'm 64 years old. I was abducted by something. I don't know what it was or where it was from.
Back in 1973, Parker had just moved to town to work with Charles Hickson.
Very first day at work, October 11th of 1973. We worked all day, got off work, and he asked me, he said, do you want to go fishing?
They went fishing on steel docks off the Pascagoula River, past a no trespassing sign, when he says the extraterrestrial happened.
And it was so bright it was blinding, and these lights was coming from inside a crowd. And then before we knew it, we both stood up and was already turned around and looking. It was three, I can't say where they was from or what they were, but it was like a robotic creature because they moved mechanically. And they got to us. Two of them got a hold of Charlie, one got a hold of myself. The very minute that they grabbed me, I felt an injection in my arm. They lifted us and took us aboard. This female-looking creature, she came out. Now she had regular facial features, ears and eyes, nose. The only difference I seen in her than what we would, and if you think about it and look at your hands, these two fingers right here are longer, and they was just a little bit longer than ours on her. And she took this right hand and she run it up down the back of my throat. Well, I started choking.
He said the beings who took him made it known they did not mean any harm.
And that's when they picked me up and they carried me out, set me back down by the river.
Jeez. A story that dominated the front page of the Mississippi.
They carried him out and set him by the river. Now, does that sound like bad guys?
I'm just trying to go fishing, man. What is happening? Right?
That doesn't sound like bad guys.
They stuck her finger down his throat.
Bruh.
Rubbed the back of his throat. What is that? Is that what she
Injected
did?
him with something?
Is that what she did?
That's what he said.
I thought he said she took her finger and put it.
And put it down, down the back of his throat. Yep.
And then she said she wasn't there to harm them.
Like, I can't tell.
You're forcing your fingers down my throat. We're gonna have to reassess whether you're here to harm me or not, real quick.
Right? I'm saying, like, I can't tell.
Maybe she's into that kind of thing. I don't know.
Right? Maybe. That's how they get down, apparently.
Gagging humans is their thing. It turns them on. I don't know.
Probably. Like,
that's creepy.
So I don't know where Betty and Barney Hill went through, but I mean, we can just kind of basically cover that, talk about it here for a minute, and then we can kind of, I guess we could, then open the calls up, Foyle.
Yeah, they were going back to their house. I want to say they lived in maybe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe upstate New York, and
Ohio.
They were in
maybe.
or was it
maybe upstate.
Ohio?
Maybe.
I don't know. They were an interracial couple, so they were, people were already like, right? So they ended up missing time. Car stopped working. They got abducted. They had the whole. I mean, they were cognizant of the entire affair.
Wow.
And came back trying to explain to people what had happened to them. And at first people were like, "What are y'all talking about?" But they have told they were questioned over and over and over again, and they had knowledge like star maps. They had all kinds of details that were able to be correlated. And to this day, it has been one of the preeminent cases of abduction that is looked at, along with like Travis Walton, like some of the true, like the truly almost verifiable stories that have been told as far as abduction experiences go. They said that experiments were done on them. This is one of the first people that we're talking about. Like, they took genetic samples and
wow,
whole 9 yards from them. Right? I want to say, yeah, I thought it was. Let me look, because I want to say that's like 54, maybe.
We don't understand what dreams are. We don't understand what happens when we die. It just seems to me like these people, I'll call them people, these other people, they have an understanding of this stuff that we do not have, right?
Yeah.
Like, even they use the dream world to appear to you, like the pineal gland, all this stuff, it's all connected. We just, on this planet, we're indoctrinated, you know what I mean? We don't know the truth at all. We're not taught it. And so, I don't, how any of us ever arrive at the point where we start to question and we become open to new ideas is amazing, really, if you think about it. So
it was New Hampshire, and it was 1961.
Oh, we were both wrong. Look at that.
Well, it was close.
Yeah, they were like
northeast.
the first case. Then
it was the first widely publicized case in the U.S.
The next one is 73. There's been a lot of cases, but they don't seem really negative for the most part. It almost seems like, my theory, they're doing work on their own family members that are incarnate here. Like,
oh yeah,
Betty and Barney Hill were not a fan of, they.
Well, there's look, you've got a lot of different dynamics. I think you've got military abducting people with their creatures that they created. Okay.
Yeah.
Some of which are not, the biological androids they have. You've got that going on, right? You've got probably some ET-like false flags where they make it look like it's something when it's not. Then you've probably got regular abductions going on by the negatives for whatever purpose, nefarious purpose, that they got going on. And then you have the benevolents who have star family down here incarnate in human bodies that they're having these ethereal interactions with, maybe working on their light body, doing repairs, doing things to them that, where they have these very, like I said, etheric experiences. I think you've got all these different elements going on here. What do you think, Scott?
I mean, when they were talking that video, the abduction, he says one of them looked like robots, like a robot AI, and that freaks me out only because it's that mixture of organic material and AI, and is that being mixed together, and is that cool out in the universe? Is that, right. I would love to know, like, from these beings' standpoint, what are their ethics on mixing AI with organic, with souls and stuff like that? Because down here, that's known as transhumanism, and it's nothing we want to be a part of. So,
right.
But out there, is that a thing? And is there like more morals to it? I always wonder that, because for me, when I see AI and robots being mixed with these things, for me, it's not anything good. But I
agree.
I could be wrong on that.
From my understanding, is that these call them androids that are used throughout the galaxy, that they don't have souls. That's the difference. They're just sort of, they don't have souls. I don't even really, I don't know personally about even their consciousness. Like, I don't know how that works, but they're not like we are. They're not beings with souls, and
that would be my, like, drawing line. Like, I'm cool with that. Like, as long as these things don't have souls and you're playing with God and stuff,
right?
I'm okay with that. That is just that stuff creeps me the hell out. It really does.
Absolutely.
I'm all, I'm so anti-technology, and I don't even want to say it because they're gonna pull us down again like the other day. But
right.
But yeah,
every time.
I mean, I can't imagine these beings that respect free will out there, right? That don't manifest, that let us walk our own path and all that. That even have family down here, incarnate for this human experience, right? That they
Right.
would allow, they would be doing anything that was super nefarious, like transhumanism, or what's the other thing that like chimeric. How do you pronounce it, Foyle? Chimerics. Yeah. Chimeras, making chimera. I just can't see the benevolent ones getting down like that. I mean, thank you, Be the Light, for the EMP.
Yeah, there you go.
Boom, baby,
Right.
you guys are my vibe. I'm a first generation human. No bad vibes, baby. Alien lives matter.
She's been great.
Yeah,
She's been
Be the
great.
Light is
I know,
the light
right?
of Foxhole. For real.
Right?
It's gotta be an ET,
Thank-
guys. Gotta be. Thank you, Jen Seppi,
And-
for the shades.
There you go. And Be the Light for the can again.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank
Because
you.
you can tell when you look in the eyes.
Well, the other
Right?
thing too I wanted to bring up too, Alara, was remember when Corey Good was talking about how there was like a federation of aliens that were out here trying to, I don't know if they were harvesting our DNA, but they were doing experiments on our DNA. And when I think about that, I wonder sometimes if like sometimes these beings, they want to get one of they're refugees or they're trying to get away from something. They take their seed and they put it into something human and they just send it to Earth and they just let it, hopefully it's kind of like a Superman thing where they've sent Superman down. They're like, okay, you need to hide here. You'll be safe here and you'll grow up here. And I mean, I've seen those videos of people literally meeting their alien kind of family on Earth, like having connections and it's crazy stuff. And I just have to wonder sometimes, like, are they experimenting on certain humans to enhance us? Or are they just trying to learn about us? Is that good or is that bad? I don't know. But I always wonder from that aspect too. It's so interesting.
You know, I've also seen discussion where they're taking genetic material to create a more adapted body to this environment.
Yeah. And then they put it back.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Well, I mean, if we are shifting dimensions, which I believe that we are, maybe they're helping us transition through that somehow, or keeping us from. I don't know. It's just a guess, but a theory.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe that's what's going on. So, yeah, who knows? All I know is we don't know, and it's time to start learning and seeking the truth. That's really all that I know, is that I don't know anything, right? So, yeah, same thing. I'm leery of people that think they have all the answers, because I've had experiences too that are just out there. You know, Scott, blue lives matter. You know what I mean? We're likely part of the same blue alien family. That's
right.
That's the running theory here. Yeah.
Why am I protecting a gigantic ass pyramid by myself on a planet in my dreams all the time? Like that you can't. I don't know. I don't know.
Don't know.
Why?
That's
what was
interesting.
I doing?
That reminds me of Foyle. I'm not going to go into the whole story, but just to kind of give you a brief synopsis, I saw one of my other lives, I guess, parallel lives, other lives, whatever they are, and I didn't really get to see what I looked like, but I could feel myself. So I was like maybe 10 foot tall and blue, and I was like I felt like a almost like a dinosaur maybe, but not a dinosaur.
Ooh.
I don't know, but anyways, I was super benevolent. I knew that about myself, and I'm not going to go into the whole story, but it's interesting too, because I ended up going through I ended up running from some humans because they were out to get me, because they misunderstood because of the way that I looked. Because of the way that I looked, they wanted to lynch me.
I believe it.
Yeah, they wanted to lynch me, and I actually saved one of them's life. You know what I mean? Like, I was actually a good guy, and they wanted to lynch me, and so I went through a Stargate and I left. Anyway, it's a really long, crazy story.
Were you a Bigfoot Alara?
I don't know. I don't know, but I was a blue.
Might be a Bigfoot now.
I'm always a blue guy. I have blue guys around me. The one life I've seen, I was actually like a blue. Well, I wasn't a regular. I wasn't like a dinosaur, guys. I didn't get to see myself, but I was blue and I was big and I was a good guy. But I was scary.
Did you have little arms?
I don't know.
That's what I want to know.
I didn't look at my arms. I don't know.
Next time, look.
Someone said Alarasaurus in the chat.
Alarasaurus?
Right.
That's great. Alarasaurus.
Oh,
that's never going to stop.
Be the light, enhancement. Love is a higher vibration than fear. Amen. Thank you, Ohio Patriot, for the phone. Just says, damn. Right? Damn.
Great.
I know.
You guys ready?
Alarasaurus.
No Alarasaurus jokes. Great. Just because I said that, I'm going to get trolled, but there's going to be memes and everything.
Done. Done. With little arms. Yep.
Shut up, Foyle.
Probably had
Don't egg
spiky
him on.
feather hair, like that guy we saw, that little dinosaur guy we saw with the feather hair.
All right,
That's the one.
The call-in information is on the screen, guys. Let me see if I can. I don't know if I need to. I don't think I need to drop the link to. Do I? If I do, I will. Yeah, Matt has a good point. He says, "Do you guys know that a lot of the Hindu gods are blue?" Yeah. Well, see, telling you, there's something about blue, non-human beings. I don't know. You know, I've never heard of. Have we heard of a bad guy that's blue in history? I haven't.
Let me ponder on that. Thanks for the cookie again, Be the Light. Good Lord.
I've never heard of a bad blue,
the avian Alara, a bad blue guy.
I didn't say I was a bird, and I wasn't a dinosaur either. I don't know what I was. I was
Grimace.
something that wasn't human.
Was he? Was he blue or was he purple?
Who's Grimace?
What?
Grimace
What?
Thank you, EO2 Dave.
Yes, Scott Grimace.
All right, so this is getting out of hand. Let me go. Let me drop the link in here. You guys, we're ready to take calls now.
Alara source information. They want the information on the Alara source.
Please call in with your alien abduction stories. We're excited to hear them. All right, let's see. Where's the link?
By all means.
Oh man.
Did you do it?
Alara source. I knew I shouldn't have even gone there with that one, dude.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I try to stand on my truth, though. You know what I mean?
Hey, we're still waiting on the secret name of the sun, man.
Shut up, Foyle.
Nope, I'm telling Scott. Alara says the sun told her his name, and she doesn't want me to tell the rest of the world what it was. Right? Thank you for the can, Cloaked.
Wow.
Huh? Yeah. She got the super
Hey, I was meditating
info.
a lot then, Scott. I was on another level of the game.
I've seen, people have talked about alien ships. They use the sun as a Stargate. To me, the sun's a big ass magnet, and it's also a gateway.
How many videos have we seen where the ships are sucking the plasma from the sun and the things that are around the sun? We know that NASA found X factor points, basically portals running between the Earth and the sun.
Yeah, and I've seen the videos where people have talked about where they've seen ships just fly. Looks like they're flying into the sun, and then they're just gone.
Yep.
Gone. They don't melt. They don't light on fire. They're just gone.
Look at the videos of the ships coming through the sun. It's obviously something. Obviously, the sun is not what they tell us it is.
It's not.
It's
just
not.
like the moon is. The moon is. The people. What was that famous quote from that guy from? The documentary with Jordan Sather, the old man that says
Above Majestic.
The moon's. Don't call it a moon. It's not a moon. And I always wondered what he meant by that. And basically, what he was getting at was a ship. It used to be a giant
it's a ship.
It's definitely some sort of artificial satellite. I mean, the orbit that it's in shouldn't even be possible.
Right.
It's too big and it's too close.
Everything that's on there is inside, underground. It's got to be.
Absolutely. Well, I think there's some stuff on the surface like they've seen, but for sure. Thank you, Be the Light, for the can. A can of White Claw for Grimace. Right? That's right.
Thank you, Foyle. Appreciate that. We got AP rolling into the chat now. This is about to get crunk in here.
Snap.
I'm about to mute up.
Hi, Lord Sauce.
The what
What's
now?
up, AP?
Welcome to the Conspiracy
Hi,
Couch,
AP.
Hi, Alara.
Alara. See, I knew it. This is it. There's going to be me. This is not going to stop.
Okay, don't feel bad. You're hanging out with Rainbow Dildo Lover.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
I just called to say hi.
Hi,
and tell
AP.
You that I'm feeling better.
Oh,
And
good.
thank you for your good wishes earlier. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I saw
Thank you.
the prayers going out this morning for you.
Glad you're feeling better, AP.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Okay,
welcome.
have a good night.
Oh, that
Thank
was
you.
it? You just wanted to call me Alarasaurus and call him Rainbow Dildo Man, or what? That's it?
I called to thank you guys actually for your good wishes earlier. It really means a lot to me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, we do love you, AP.
Oh. And then Laura brought up that Laura Source shit. Scott always has loved rainbow dildos. Don't worry. I won't let him live that down.
No, we can't. Can't do that.
Appreciate that.
Never. We
You
can
should
never
have
let
heard
that
me
go.
say earlier today.
We need
Between
rainbow
the
dildo
bottom
emojis on the foxhole.
Right.
Matt's out there. Matt's out there.
Yeah, he is. Hey, Rise, thanks for the can. Thanks, Be the Light, for the... Well, I missed it. Can. Shades, thank you.
What's up, Bryce?
Hello.
Yes, AP.
Hello.
Did you have another comment? Question?
You don't have any
You don't have an alien abduction story
us?
for us? Yeah.
Nope.
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 That's okay.
I think leave me the fuck alone.
I'm with that. I'm with that.
All right. Well, if you don't
All
have
right.
an alien abduction story, I'm gonna have to say thank you for the thank you and the love, and put you in the corner, AP.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. That's all. I had no special reason for calling, just to thank you.
Well, thank you for calling us.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Hey, could you do me a favor?
Oh no.
Could you kick me out?
Can I kick? Yeah, I can kick you out. No problem. You have a wonderful evening, AP. I will see you
Seriously,
around.
I do that every time I call.
Wait, how do I?
I don't kick myself out.
Oh,
Oh no, I got you. Don't worry. Boom, and you're out.
Thank you for the cookie, Be the Light.
All right, let me
Lord,
see.
cookies
see
for
who's-
AP. She says, always ask them to call in.
Let me see who's next over here. Yeah, AP's always great. Oh, I don't even know who came in here first. I got to get on top of my game here. I think it was. I'm not sure who it was. Great. So. I don't know. What are you doing? You don't
Pick
know.
one, man. Pick
Just
one.
pick
right?
one. All right, I'm gonna go with
Just pick
Jason,
one.
and then Nick, and then our cloaked unseen world, and then Woke. I may not be the right, but hey,
It's all good.
Right.
well, we all know I'm a perfectionist, so.
Oh,
What's going
man.
on, Jason? Welcome to the Conspiracy Couch. I see your audio is still connecting, so I'll give you a second to
Right.
connect. Wow,
Wow,
be the light.
thank you, Be the Light, right?
Be the light. Be in the light.
Be in the light.
Telling
Thank you, GLC, for the shades.
Be the light is like the Confederation or something showing up
Right.
on the foxhole. I'm telling you.
Right.
She knows. I'm on to you, Be the Light. I'm watching
What up,
you.
J-Bell?
GLC, thank you for the shades. Now go get yourself some cheap sunglasses. whatever that means. Jason, it looks like your audio is having some difficulty connecting. I don't know. Sometimes it does that, and then it connects. So we'll give it like another 20, 30 seconds here to see if we can get it to connect. If it doesn't connect, then I'll ask you to call back in and try connecting a different way with your audio.
All right. Oh, is
Yeah.
Maxon? What up, Maxon?
I think he hit the wrong connection button. That's why it's not connecting.
Uh-oh.
So go ahead and log out of the... Oh, no, he's here. Welcome to the Conspiracy Couch, Jason.
Yeah, you're going to have to unmute yourself.
Yep. Unmute.
Maybe.
Baby steps.
Right. One thing is, I'm waiting to hear some abduction stories, man. All the people that watch this channel, I want to hear some crazy stuff.
The mute button should be on the left, the bottom of your screen. Oh, there's something you can hit to unmute too, I think. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Hey, Jason. Welcome.
Hey.
I don't really have no abduction stories, but I got sighting stories that
That'll
are
work.
just unreal.
Nice.
Hear it. If you don't want to hear them, you can kick me out, whatever. That's fine. I keep trying to get on with Scott to tell him, but...
Well, share away.
Yeah, bring it. Drop it.
Well, the first one wasn't mine, but back in 1962, 63, my mom told me about an object that they seen. You know, I live in Idaho. Come on. Backwoods farm. This object flew in over our property, and everybody can't explain it. There was tons of family members there that couldn't explain it. I asked my grandpa before he died, my mom before she died. She was the one telling me about it. And it was like a football shape that was in the canyon, and it hummed and glowed. And the more it hummed, the brighter it got. And it just slowly moved off down the canyon. heard that story from many of my relatives that were actually there. Then another one was when I was probably about 7, 8 years old. My mom gets me up out of bed. It's late at night. She's outside, doing whatever. And she's like, look at this light. It's on the hillside. It's a good, 500 feet above us on the hillside. Well, back then they didn't make those bluish colored LED lights. And that's what it looked like. And the funny thing is, it went across a clear spot and then slowly moved up the tree line and over the top of the trees and then back down the trees to another clear spot and went alongside of the hill. I mean, we watched this for 1,000 yards.
You and your mother watched this?
Yeah. Okay. She was sitting there right next to me. We're standing out back of the house watching it go across the back of our property up and down this tree line. And it's like that's not cool.
Jason, real quick, could you hear these craft at all, or was it absolute silence?
That was absolute silence that time.
Yep.
Absolutely, you couldn't hear nothing. You could hear the crickets and stuff like that, but the one in 62, 63 that that was back before I was way even thought of. They could hear it hum, and the more it hummed, the brighter it got, and it just got brighter and dimmer as it moved off down the canyon. Then when I was in football practice, back when I was in high school, sitting outside, Mom forgot to pick me up. I was probably 16 or something at the time. These 3 blue lights came off from down the canyon, and they were formed perfect in a triangle, came down over the top of the mountain and swooped over the top of me and went out the other side of the canyon, which is probably, I'm guessing, as a crow flies, probably 20 miles. And they did it in like 5 to 8 seconds. I mean, it was like, whoa, what's that? And no noise, but you could see them go up and over the top of the mountains. Then another one was my buddy, where these aircraft actually, those triangle shaped aircraft actually went over the top of this mountain. My buddy was hunting up there, was that 5, 6 years ago? And they were coming out after elk hunting with their 4-wheelers, and there was this LED type blue light going through the trees. They didn't think much about it at the time, but as they moved up through, it was too big to be somebody with a flashlight. It wasn't shining around like a flashlight does. It was just a solid ball in the trees, just meandering through the trees. It was, and his dad to this day don't even want to talk about it. Then I think it's 2 years ago, New Year's Eve, sitting here playing Call of Duty with a buddy of mine that lives in Spokane. Go outside to take a leak, and I just kind of was watching the fireworks because it was right at midnight, watching the fireworks, and I noticed this red light up in the sky. And I'm like, that's an interesting firework. Okay, yeah. So I sat there and watched it as taking a leak, and it was just drifting. And like, that's not a firework. It's not going out. And it just drifted up in the sky, and it stayed there for about 30 minutes. So I got my binoculars out and went and looked at it. And have you guys ever heard of the triangle spaceship with the red light on it?
The TR-3B. That's right.
That's what that reminds me of. Yeah, the TR-3B.
Yeah, it's the TR-3B.
Yeah.
There's different versions of it, but that's the one we kind of, us uneducated folks, we know the name of. You know what I mean?
I mean, the patent for it's written on Google.
Yeah.
I've tried to research it. You know, there's not tons of searches out there for it, but
Jason, go look on my channel on YouTube. So there's videotape that I took of 2 of them sitting in the sky. Let me know if it looked like that.
Okay. Can do. So, there's, and then another one was when when I was in high school, we used to hound hunt a lot, and we used to go up the river, go shoot raccoons, see if we can find a bear, cougar, whatever, with our hound dogs. And we were coming back. I'll tell you basically where I'm at. Look for Elk City, Idaho. Okay, way back in the middle of freaking nowhere. And I'm driving down the river and get the hound dogs in the back, and I see lights behind me. You know, we're flashing the spotlight around because you're allowed to do that where we're at. And this light behind me is just really weird. So we pull off into a pull off, and we see these lights come around the corner. They're not on the road. They're up in the sky, probably, 100 yards up. And it comes around the corner at us, probably, it's a good half a mile away. And it's this saucer looking freaking deal. It's just getting dusk. It's really weird. Got a ton of lights around it. Guess what we do? We pull every gun out of the truck and start shooting at it.
Oh,
we ain't having none of that because we couldn't fucking explain it.
Oh, dude.
And then it just zipped back up the canyon. It was gone. It was, way weird.
Yeah, I'd have left too.
I can't explain it. What's that?
I said, yeah, I'd have left too if you started shooting at me. I'd have burned out too. I'd have took off.
Hell yeah.
Be like, I'm out.
If
Peace.
we can't explain something out here, we shoot
I tried
at it.
to tell her.
Jason, thank you for sharing all those stories. That's great. Thank you for doing that. You've had some incredible experiences. You've had a lot of incredible UFO experiences, which makes me think they have some connection to you, or they wouldn't be stalking you this much.
Not that much. Not that much.
No. So you need to figure out what that connection is.
Years.
You need to figure out what that connection is and stop shooting at them, in my humble opinion. So just saying. All right, we have a lot of other people in the calling waiting room, so I got to kind of cut you off at this point. Thank you for calling in.
Night.
All right, bye.
Much love. Thank you.
Find out who your ET family is, buddy. Yep.
Thanks, Jason.
Yep. See ya.
Hey.
Right?
That's a lot.
Man, that's a lot of ETs to be
say,
coming around you,
a-
dude. Yeah.
A nuclear
Come
silo
on.
by you. What do you got? You got something out there? Crop circles. There's got to be something out there.
Something.
Something's going on. Nick Walls.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, welcome to the Conspiracy
All right,
Couch.
What's up, Nick?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good, man. Good.
Right on. Allosaurus Rex, what's up?
Yeah, what's up, man?
I'm sorry, I had to say something. I
Lorosaurus
had to
Rex
say-
still has a cock in this fight.
Yes.
Still has a cock in this fight.
That's right. Go ahead. Nick.
So, unfortunately, I've never been abducted. I say unfortunately because I've called out to this guys many a times. I know you guys probably heard the stories. I have called out, but unfortunately, I've never been abducted. I've been trying being nice and pleasant, but they still don't come. I've tried the niceties. I really have. I've been pleading to the skies. I've been, sending my waves out there, and still nothing. So, if you have any advice, I would like to know on how to.
She told me to tell him we're just trying to talk to you. So that's what I did. I don't know.
I mean, what do I gotta do though?
That's not verbatim, Nick. Let's see what Scott's input is on this.
I mean, for me, man, it was
He
pretty
called him.
simple. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can get good at meditation, if that's even a thing, but I just got into this state of first of all, I put my intention out there before I even started. This is what I am going to do. I'm not going to stop till it's done. I put that intention out there that I want to connect with something that was benevolent, first of all, because if you don't do that, you could connect with something that you don't want to connect with, and it really screws you over. So that's where I would start. And I would then tackle it and put out vibes of love and gratitude. That's all. I don't know. You got to kind of figure that out for yourself, but that's what I did. And I just put that out there, and it felt like I was in this ball of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Things just went silent, and then I was gone. That's what it felt like. So that was my experience with it. But again, some people, it takes practice. I mean, whatever you feel about Dr. Greer or whatever, some people don't like him. Some people absolutely adore the guy, but he has a protocol that you can practice and do. And you just might have to do that a few times, but he has a protocol. It's on his YouTube. You can Google it. And it's a lot to do with noises and meditation sounds, and it kind of helps spur it on. But it's kind of the same thing. You want to put a good intention out there, that you want good contact, and you want to make sure you are ready for it. Okay. Because it does feel like, I mean, I've never done hard drugs, but a lot of people describe it as like a DMT trip.
DMT, yeah. I was going to say like DMT, yeah. I've never done it personally, but, Joe Rogan, huge fan of DMT, so I've heard a lot of stories about DMT.
Yeah, for sure. And that's kind of, I mean, I've had another experience where I meditated and got in such a state of love and gratitude where I didn't want to leave it. And I just felt like I could shoot lightning out of my hands.
I've been deep in prayer before. Meditating deep in prayer. And I have exited my body before and gone elsewhere. But I have not been to the point of being abducted, though. So that is one experience like I said, I'm actually looking forward to, is just being somewhere else, understanding beings outside this realm.
Yes. And dude, you having that experience, you've gotten way further than most people that I've known having that experience. But like somebody just said in the chat, if you have vulnerabilities, you'll be exploited. And that's why I said, make sure you're grounded and you
gotta be grounded. Now that's exactly what my faith can't be shaken, can't be moved. With that said, I don't think they can. Maybe that's why they don't want me, is because I'm a steadfast man. So maybe that's why they don't want to pick me up.
Hey,
I'm sorry, Scott. Did you want to say something?
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
I've noticed with them, this is my experience, my perspective is that when you're in your heart chakra, they love that. They're very attracted to that. So like Scott was when he was meditating, he was fully in his heart chakra, like love and understanding, and I want to learn. And I believe that this is some kind of connection to our experiences, because a lot of the other really strange, spiritual, weird, ET, whatever experiences I've had, I was either meditating or I was in a state of complete bliss and joy and in my heart chakra. Like fully just in the moment, present in my heart, just that's it. So I think like a main key to it, like if you really want to have these benevolent experiences, is not to be coming from a selfish angle, and they know your thoughts. So if you have any sort of agenda, not saying you do, but to take a picture or to have validation, they won't come.
I would love a selfie.
Yeah, right? Exactly. But if you're just sending them love, and I love you, and I'm here when you're ready to get to, allow me, I would appreciate and allow me to have that experience. That's, in my experience, when they tend to sort of, and it won't be when you want it to happen. It'll be when they decide is the right time, based on, I don't know how they base it.
What I'm understanding is about a whole lot of love.
Whole lot of love, man.
Whole lot of love. Love is what it all comes down to.
Love is key to life and everything.
That's it.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Also, one thing before you guys let me go, I want to know why Bigfoot hunters, so-called, go out with a mating call. I'm not understanding why a mating call. Do you really want, this beast coming out with a full rager and just charging after you, wanting some? I mean, can we just say that that's not a good idea to go out with a Bigfoot mating call.
That stuff's a clown show. That's my comment. That's my 2 cents. That whole agenda with the mating call. How about you, Scott?
I think seriously, Bigfoots are out on this planet doing some kind of job that we just cannot understand yet. Because I've seen so many videos of these things just walking through mountaintops, and they move quick if they want, and then they just vanish.
Yep.
They are down here to do something that we cannot understand or see, and that's why they don't want to be seen. So that's what I think they're doing. Yeah, all this other stuff, to me, it's just noise.
Right.
So are we gonna say that they are extraterrestrial?
They're not from here originally. No, they came to this planet. That's what, based on the studying I've done, they came here. They're interdimensional. They can phase shift, just like Scott was saying. And from my understanding, they are down here. They are down here. I mean, they're down here doing some sort of, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but I think it's some sort of job or some kind of work or some kind of project to pay off karma. Something like that. They're doing something here. He's right. And but they're super advanced. You know what I mean? They're not. Yeah. So
they're not dumb. They're not dumb.
They're more spiritually advanced than we are. That anybody that can manipulate matter like that. It's we're the only ones that can't do it apparently. So.
Well, let's get working on that, shall we?
You should read the Law of One. There's a lot of information in there about Bigfoot and other topics that I know you have an interest in, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So anyway, all right. Well, thank you for calling in. We appreciate your call.
Absolutely.
Always appreciate your input. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.
Have a good night.
Later,
you too. Later.
All right, so I'm gonna kick Nick out. I love Nick. He always has great things to say. Mm-hmm. He's such a positive, happy being too.
All the time.
Yeah, I love that.
I've never seen him before. He was very, he had a very good vibe about him.
He has good.
Yeah,
he has good energy.
He calls us all the time. All right.
Yep. He has very good energy.
What up, Cloaked?
Not much.
That's the man and the myth with the Bigfoot video. You're not playing it on air right now,
Bigfoots
Ryan.
Are hanging out in kitchens.
I'm not play anything on air.
Welcome to the couch.
I do want to answer about what I've been informed by them out there in the forest.
They talk to you?
Yeah, I mean, like not,
telepathically.
His kitchen, dude. They probably had something to say.
They are represented. They're not drawn as that in the Voynich manuscript, but the Voynich manuscript, those beings, it depends on the world that you're in is what the beans are going to look like, or the forest that you're in, or the beans are going to look like. But Bigfoot, job is to materialize, and he's one of the ones. There's many of those creatures out there that are small ones, big ones, different. All can do similar things. But Bigfoot's just one of those creatures. He's a nature being, and he is he's basically a tree, but he can. It's hard to explain. It's basically they're
right.
In
I
charge
get.
Of,
he's basically a tree.
Materializing and manifesting our thoughts, our statements, and our actions. They have radiant energy devices that they can transform energy into materialize something. If something needs to teleport from another universe or another galaxy over to here, it has to be broken down and put back together. That's what nature is the medium for. It's like a 3D, 4D printer. There's actually a Stephen Greer video. I played it on Severe's channel the other day. And when they're discussing, he's discussing and he's telling what ETs have the abilities to do. And he doesn't realize what he's describing, but he's describing two different things at the same time. He's describing, he says, ETs have the abilities to do this. And then he says all these things. And what he's explaining in there, and it's a 10-minute clip. It's an amazing things that he says. And but basically, he's what he's saying they do is what he's saying is what the processes of nature is, and he's also talking about the abilities that we have that we don't have access to right now. He doesn't say this, but I know that's what he's describing. It's just because it clicks with stuff I've seen with my own two eyes on my recordings that I've gone through frame by frame by meditating out there in the forest, walking with my arms crossed, making an X like the patent hyperspace energy, hyperspace patent walking through Walls training system. It tells you how to generate hyperspace energy. And I showed you that picture of that light shooting out of my head. Remember that, Alara, at SETI?
Didn't you send me those documents too about hyperspace going through walls, the patents on it or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
And my Bigfoot video is my evidence that that's a real patent. That's a real ability. Bigfoots have been DNA tested and have come back with our DNA, supposedly. There's been studies done that have been suppressed where many different samples gone to many different labs and all came back with human DNA. And so if they have the ability, which I know they do because I've seen it, and like I said, I know what they are. They're one of the many beings. They're like the gate watchers. They're like anything that comes and goes from this world. They're in charge of bringing it in and sending it out by dematerializing it and rematerializing it. They're not doing it alone. It's with a team of beings that are doing this.
You say radiant energy. I mean, Alara, how many times have we talked about photonic energy being the source of all things? You know, I mean, from the light, the sound, from the, or from the sound, the light, and then from the light, matter. Like, I mean,
you saw my
real.
talk at ESETI, didn't you, Ryan?
Yeah. Well, there's an article. It's called "A Famous Prophet of Science Looks into the Future," and it's a Nikola Tesla article. If you read that, he talks about the radium energy. The radium energy is like, I have a thing that I wrote on my. If you go to my community page on YouTube, you can see the image of the light pouring out of my head after doing the walking through walls training system. But I'm going to read one quick. It's just a real short phrase that I wrote.
Okay.
Oh, maybe not. Never mind.
Ryan, there's a lot of people in the waiting room right now.
But basically, let me tell you my story about a recent one that I got abducted. Okay. So it's probably about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. I wasn't even tired. I wasn't even didn't feel tired. I wasn't going to go to bed anytime soon. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, last I remembered. So then I wake up in what I thought was the morning, because last time I remember was 1, and I woke up and I saw it looked like the sun was just coming up. So I look outside real quick, and then I look at my shirt, and I got this puddle of drool down my shirt. I look over
at me all the time. Go ahead.
Then I looked over at the triangle I got from Ken Rolla that's supposed to keep negative energies away and so forth. That 16 feet radius or whatever. And that thing's unplugged from the wall. And then my laptop's also unplugged from the wall. And the cord is on the opposite side of my fifth wheeler. And like how all these things got unplugged and ended up, cords, like my cord for my computer was unplugged and removed, and that device was removed. And the device was moved and it was sitting on the floor. And then I looked at the time, and it was actually 9 o'clock at night, and I was out for 19 hours straight. Lost time, 19 hours. I have no idea what the hell. I thought it was like,
that's wild.
5 hours later. It was 19 hours later, and I woke up and I was tired as hell. Like something happened to me. It wasn't like something that scared me. It wasn't something I'm like all paranoid about.
A time distortion of some sort because of some sort of.
Definitely weird. I am in a new location, and these beings out here know that they're there and what they do and so forth. But they work as a team. And there's a representation in Egypt on the wall that shows these beings what the team that they make is. One's like one's a magician, one's a pilot for like ship, one's I have an image somewhere on my Discord channel, but it's a pretty cool image, and that's what's showing the team of beings and kind of what their jobs are. There's like 5 main roles or whatever. I don't remember them all off the top of my head, but they're there and depicted in the image. And but anyways, I've got other stories, but I know you have other people online.
I got to get to the other callers. But thank you for sharing.
Yeah, definitely. Though it's basically what's depicted in the Voynich manuscript is the beings. Bigfoot's one of them, but you don't see a Bigfoot drawn in that book. But you see other creatures that are representing the same role that Bigfoot plays in that book. And he is one of the beings that's in charge of everything coming and going.
Interesting.
Putting it together, taking it apart. And so with all the nature is, like every pine needle, every leaf, every tree branch, every piece of bark, every rock, every grain of sand, they're all energy consciousness beings and are part of of the AI system that we actually live in, and or whatever this realm is that we are. It's ran by an AI device. Basically, I'm serious. By an AI system that runs off our thoughts and it basically projects them so we see
The Matrix.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe he's got something figured out we don't have figured out. I'm definitely open to that possibility. But Ryan, on that note, I have to put you in the corner. Thank you so much for calling in.
Yep. I'll put on the dunce hat. It's all good.
All right. Well, you're not in trouble.
No, I'm with you.
I'm just
right?
playing with
Yeah,
you.
we're tracking you. Thank you for calling in, Ryan. Much love.
Much love.
All right.
Bye.
He's got a million
just gets
videos
wound
and
up.
so many
He gets
stories.
wound up.
He
He
gets
gets-
very excited, but he catches some videos now for sure.
Bruh, welcome to the conspiracy couch.
Bruh.
What's up, bruh?
Woke one.
Yeah.
Right?
He's gotten in the meme game now recently. Memes are off,
yeah.
off the
Can
chain.
make-
yeah.
Gave me the holy hand grenade of Antioch. He made us a woodshed. Like,
Yeah.
he's on it.
Yep. There's going to be an Alarasaurus meme next. You just watch.
Alarasaurus.
Mhm.
Right? Little arms, dude. I insist.
No, stop, people.
Yes.
No. That's okay. I'll be a good sport. I watch Scott go through it on a daily basis.
My mic's on?
Yeah, your mic's on. What up, fam?
Woke one. Welcome to the couch.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So,
And yeah.
like in the what happened?
Into what?
In the beginning of the show, you guys were talking about like how the Corey Good and all that stuff.
Right.
You know, kind of. Well, I mean, same thing for me, and it's weird because like once that happened, I was walking to 7-Eleven, which isn't far from where I'm at, and I don't even know if I made it to 7-Eleven. All I remember is waking up, like if I blacked out or something, and I woke up like walking back to my house, like I was already at my house, but I looked at and I felt like I was like if I was hungover or something.
Oh.
And I looked at.
Well,
when
were
I got
you?
inside, what happened?
Were you?
No, not at all. And then I get back in the house and like 4 hours or some crazy shit had passed, and it's literally like at the end of the street. And
Maybe you were swooped up. You don't remember, my friend. That's how they do most of us.
That's what
Yeah,
happened.
and I mean I didn't have any marks or anything like evidence of anything, and I didn't, other than like the grogginess and shit. I didn't really feel different or anything. But after that, like maybe a month later or something, I felt like I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like energetically different, and
Like a
I
shift in
think that's what-
consciousness.
Yeah, like more like at a, like I don't even know, like you know, like how Reiki and stuff works, like people that
Right.
can move energy and all that. Like all of a sudden I was able to do shit like that. And like I had never practiced it or tried it or went to a class or any of that shit. And I didn't even know I was able to do it until someone had offered just like out of nowhere to do a Reiki on me. And then I thought it was so cool that she offered to do it for like just out of the blue for free and shit, that I was like, well, I'm just gonna fuck with her and I'm just gonna send a whole bunch of energy back. And then I was like, and then in my mind while I was doing it, I was throwing out images while I was doing it too. And like she picked up on all of it and was tripping like, what the fuck? Like I've never, you know, like
You got activated, man.
You got an upgrade,
Yeah, and
friend. That's exactly what happened to you.
yeah. And I've done it to XI Starseed too. Like she was doing like at the end of the show, she'll do like meditations and shit. And I was doing the same shit to her. And then when she was done, she was like explaining like, well, I don't know what happened right now, but I was seeing this and that and all that. And I just was laughing about it. But
Dude, that's awesome.
but
awesome.
like, you know, but I think that's what they do, you know, like they're not allowed to do like interfere with our free will and whatnot. So that's how they do it, like the Galactics or the Sphere Being Alliance or whatever you want to call them. Like I think that's how they do it. They just upgrade
Yeah.
civilization by like their DNA, you know, without physics, like, you know, I think that's how they do it. I think that's how they're doing it.
They do, man. And I told Laura that story about the deer when I got the deer to
Oh
walk
yeah,
up
the deer. Tell him about the deer.
that happened after that experience that I had, where I saw this deer that was probably about 30 feet away, and I was like, I bet you I can make this deer walk up to me.
Yep.
Got into that same kind of state, that loving gratitude state, and it felt like we connected to that deer. It sounds weird, but that's what happened. And this deer literally walked up right to me within 10 feet of me and just started eating grass right in front of me, and then walked back to the forest. Can't explain it. Never been able to do anything like that before, but that happened after I went up. And I can't, no one can take that away from me. It sounds crazy, but that's what happened.
No, it sounds legit.
You know, we don't think
Cool
that's
that you
crazy.
even remember that, like, you went.
But yeah, no,
Right.
sometimes you come away with
I don't
things you didn't have before.
I don't remember anything.
Well,
That
you
whole
made
month
me.
is kind of a blur.
You made me think of something. There was one time, and this just clicked in my head. There was one time I was driving from South Carolina to Ohio, and I remember coming through tunnels in Virginia, and then I remember being near Canton. Do they ever take people?
Mm-hmm. Yep, all the time.
I thought, and I'm telling myself
All the
it's highway
time.
hypnosis. Like, I've been driving so long that it just, but that was a really long stretch. And I remember thinking, what the hell? Like, I don't even remember getting here. I mean, I was going and it was right, but it wasn't right. Like, there was a whole.
When people understand the technology of these ships,
Yep.
of what is made out of these ships, and how they then you realize they can manipulate space-time.
Yep.
They can manipulate anything. They can plug you back in. They can take
That's
it out.
what it felt
You
like.
had no idea you were gone.
Plugged back in. Yeah.
And your life continued. You're like, whoa, I wasn't here a minute ago. But who knows how much time has passed. To them, they have that down to a science. We just don't either. We have doctors and scientists that know about it, or we just don't know yet. But it's out there.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Like, I don't remember stopping for gas or anything. Like, it was, I remember coming through the mountains.
Yep.
And maybe a little bit past that, and then I remember Ken.
You could have gone.
That was a while ago. That was a long while ago.
I've heard a story of a guy and his kid that were driving, and the same thing has happened. They were going to a certain place, and then lost a period of time, and they just like were there all of a sudden. So I mean, probably, man, probably.
I just, you saying you was walking, and then like that just made me think of that. Like, I remember that was a long time ago too. That was crazy though. So I thought, oh, it's highway hypno. You know, you drive and then you just think, and I'm like, but that was really long. Like, and I don't remember anything in the in between. I wonder.
Thank you, Cloaked Unseen World, for the I think it's a can, and thank you, Christina, so much for the shit. Yeah. Thank you guys for your support. Woke One, I'm gonna have to kick you out so we can take a couple of these last calls before Scott's gonna go. But thank you so much for sharing your story.
Much love, bruh.
Thank you for calling in, bruh.
Later, Scott.
Much love. All
right.
All right. Why does it be doing every time?
Yes, Golden Crisp, the damn hill. Yes, the damn hills. There was yeah.
All right, Elise, and then Nick, and then we're gonna have to let Scott go because he works a lot.
Man, I understand. Right.
Yeah, no problem, Scott. You're good. Do what you need to do. I know it's a late night calling show.
Yes, sir.
Elise, welcome to the Conspiracy Couch, man. Got some ET abduction action for us?
Hi.
Hey, yeah. Okay, I was waiting for a while, so let me.
Sorry, friend.
Anna. Okay. Yes. So abduction. Okay. So I have a couple things I thought of as I was sitting here waiting. You guys can hear me, okay?
Yeah. Just make sure and talk into the mic. You're a little bit low. Oh well, that didn't go well.
Right. Did we lose her?
Did we lose Elise? Elise, we think we may have lost. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I don't.
Let me do this. But sometimes that throws it off. Okay, how am I now?
Thank you, Sean Joe, for the cookie. Appreciate you.
It's weird. Sometimes I just have to unplug my earbuds and then plug them.
Yeah, that'll do it.
All right.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
So the first one, I'm curious if anybody else has had an experience like this. this was like 10 years ago, and I had a period of time where I was just like having a lot of stuff happen. You know, it's like that waking up period, like the veil's thinning, everything is coming in at once. And so I would feel like a team, almost like a medical team around me. I don't know if any of you guys have ever felt that, like almost like an extraterrestrial medical team. And I could feel them doing procedures on my body. I sound so crazy.
No, that
you
doesn't
don't
sound
sound
crazy
crazy.
at all. I feel them around me all the time. I don't know if they don't think they're doing procedures, but they're around me all the time, just phased
Yeah,
out.
like I could literally feel them using like tools
Whoa.
like in my body and like reaching into my heart, and it would like cramp up, like weird stuff like this. So anyways, I remember like sometimes like there was a period of time where I would just lie down and like allow them to do work on me and just like lay still. It sounds so silly. But I know that you guys don't think it's silly. So one time I remember I was like lying on my stomach and I wasn't asleep, which is why this was interesting. So it wasn't like a paralysis thing. And I was just lying on my stomach, and I all of a sudden felt like my entire energy body, or like soul body, was being sucked out through my solar plexus. Like it literally started to be vacuumed out of my solar plexus, and I felt like I was going to be taken somewhere that I had no idea where that was. And I had to like fight to like stay in my body. And I've never had anything like that happen any other time, but it was like super scary. And usually if I'm in a dream or leaving my body, I don't feel that way. It was like this forced thing where I was like being taken out of my body. So anyways, that's long story short on that. So I'll see if anybody in the chat has experienced that. Feel free to let me know. Because I'm sure it was some type of entity thing going on. Or
Did it feel negative to you?
yes, it did. It was like, what the frick? Like you can't make me go. What are you doing? Like I had to like stand my ground. And I wasn't even in sleep paralysis or anything. It was like, well, it was like I was going into it. Like this force was like trying to take control over.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, it was weird. Okay, so then the other story is it's not super exciting, but it's interesting. So this was about 3 to 4 years ago now, and it was in the summer. And I was at home alone, and it was probably like 3 a.m. or 3 something a.m. I tend to go to bed late. And I was just like checking all the doors that they were locked, like I usually do before I go to bed, especially if I'm the only one at home. And I remember I went back to the back door, which is like a sliding glass door, and I just checked it, and then I just like started walking the other way, and this is like through the kitchen because that's where the back door was. And I remember I just got this like telepathic, message in my head that I was like, that's ridiculous. So basically what it said was something like to the effect of, go look outside, there's an alien out there. Which is weird because I wouldn't usually use the word alien or, anything like, but it was very much like I was being told this. And so I remember stopping and being like, I'm totally doing this to myself. I'm thinking I'm getting a message.
Right.
I'm just, I'm like psyching myself out or something.
Right.
And then so I stood there and I remember thinking, well, I don't feel creeped out. I don't feel scared. And I was like, fine, I'll entertain it. And so I turned back around and basically I looked out one of the back windows next to the door and also at the back door. And I remember like fully thinking like, well, gosh, I guess I'll see something if there's something there. But I didn't actually see anything, but I remember feeling like there was someone or multiple someones looking back at me, but I couldn't see them. And so then I'm standing right almost nose to the glass at the back door. And there's there's an outdoor light right above the sliding glass door that never would get used. Like, it used to get used when I was a kid because this is my childhood home, but it like never was used. I knew where the switch was for it, and never used that switch. Like, didn't even think about it. Never left it on at night or anything like that. So I'm standing there, and my nose is like almost to the glass, and this really instantaneous like flash of light happens that I think is the light that's above the door, because it seemed like it was coming from above my head. But this is just sort of my perspective, right? I thinking back on it now, I don't know if it was actually the light or if it was something else going on, because if you think about the whole scenario, I'm being told to go to the back door because there's an alien outside, and then there's a flash. It's like, I don't know, was I put back there? Was there some other thing that made this flash happen?
Right.
But it was definitely like a really strong flash of light that was like that, like a split second, it was gone. It wasn't like a light turned on for a second and then turned off. It was just like if an old-fashioned camera like took a really fast photo and you were like, oh my gosh. So anyways, that's the whole story. Take it that way you will.
That's awesome.
There was definitely an alien outside, Elise.
I'll
Let's be
tell you
real
what
here.
I'll tell you what I think
sure.
it was. I used to think that it was like, oh, like maybe some Pleiadians are coming to visit me, blah, blah, blah. But then I ended up having a reading a few years ago, like shortly after this. And I was basically told, and it resonates, that it was mantis beings essentially coming to check on their genetic stock.
Oh, good Lord.
But it makes a lot of sense, because especially with the way that the telepathic message kind of related, it wasn't like super warm and fuzzy, but I also wasn't like scared, and I didn't feel like there was a threat, but it just didn't necessarily seem like it was like this like, ooh, super like spiritual, like, thing. It was very like business like, almost like, we need you to come to the door, bam.
Well, the mantis beings tend to operate that way, do they not? Like, just very cut and dry, very.
Yeah, and I've heard that they have been entrusted with facilitating or helping watch over some of the hybrid programs, which also makes sense, because if they need my genetics, they gotta do something. But it's interesting, because you would think that why would they want me to be aware of this? Why would they tell me to go to the back door? Like, it makes it seem like there is some aspect either of me or them that's agreeing for me to start becoming more aware of things, which I'm not necessarily. I don't really know if I'm all on board for that.
Maybe you did agree.
Maybe you're a mantis.
I did. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know if I'm mantis, but it's funny because Alara, I know I've heard you say, maybe it was you. Have you said, oh, can you just come knock on the door? Don't like appear in my house.
Yeah, I felt, I'm serious. I felt they were gonna phase into my room the other night, and I freaked out. You would think I'd be a G about it, right? No. I freaked out. I ran outside, and I was talking telepathic. I said, look, you gotta knock or something. That's what we do here. We knock, or come during the day. Like, I was trying to make an arrangement. I was like, it freaks me out. You can't just phase into my room at 3 a.m. You can't do that.
So what's really funny is I've always said that. I have always said that, like, out loud to other people, that exact thing you just said, because I get pissed off when they try and start phasing in, and I literally yell at them in my head, like, I'm not ready. You don't understand. I have this reptilian brain that's going to respond to you with a fear response, and you don't understand. And so I get really mad when I start sensing like presences, and I'm like, please be kind with me. Don't just like do something crazy, because I'm still in this meat suit that's gonna have like an adrenaline
Don't
dump.
feel bad. I force things out all the time. Like,
as long as I don't phase in, I'm good. If I can feel them all around me, no problem. I can be hanging. I'll hang out. I'll talk to them. Everything. But the moment they start to phase in, I'll
physical.
trip. I'll trip.
Yeah.
I will trip.
Don't.
No doubt.
I will flip out. I'll become a different person.
It's true. Totally true.
Okay. Anyways, that's my story.
Thank you, Elise. Appreciate it. We're gonna get.
Love.
Yeah, thank you for calling in and sharing.
Bye, guys.
We're gonna get Nick in here real quick and then close the show.
Yeah, I'll leave. You don't have to kick me out. Bye.
Either way, man. I'm cool either way. All right, Nick will be our last call for the evening, and then we'll go ahead and let Scott go, because I know he's probably really tired and
Right.
Oh, I'm good. The
Wants
wife
to get to
needs
bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So welcome to the Conspiracy Couch, Nick.
Hello.
Is this Nick?
Hola, everyone.
Hi, Nick. Is this Nick Houston or a different Nick?
Houston.
All right.
What
What's
up?
going on, Nick Houston?
my
Welcome to the
camera?
Conspiracy Couch.
Hi, fam.
Is my camera on?
No.
No.
No. Whatever. So how is everyone tonight?
Good. You got some abduction stories for us?
Well, I don't have an abduction memory, but I had in my childhood recurring nightmares of being abducted from my bedroom through the window.
Oh.
That sounds like an abduction
like
story.
an abduction story.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
I'm with you.
And it's the only reoccurring nightmare I ever had in my life. Never had them since. I've had many dreams often, but they're always different. And this was the only recurring nightmare I ever had. And I had it enough times that I still remember it now.
Definitely made an impact on you.
Oh, that's cool.
It's strong enough that, and I mean, I can't pinpoint an age, but I would say age 7 to 10. And I was old enough and cognitive enough and spiritual enough at the later stages of this that I actually approached my pastor about it because I was freaked out. And he just, of course, brushed it off. Dreams are dreams.
Yep. Dreams. Just dreams.
But it always stuck with me. A few other things that I just want to hammer out real fast, topics. We can go into them if you want, but other experiences I've had include seeing a shadow man.
Yeah.
Other witnesses with that. Light ball UFO, black triangle UFO. That one also had multiple witnesses. And all these were very near nuclear missile sites or former quote unquote decommissioned Minuteman missile sites, and also very close to a particular Air Force base where we keep all of our B-2s and their weapons.
They outright said it in the UFO report, that pretty much they outright said it, that they are stalking some of our military facilities, and that's how they know when they're going to show up. You know what I mean? Because they're just there. They're just there all the time, and we've got sensors now that can pick this up or when they're going to appear. Scott, any input on that?
No, he brings up the black shadow figure, man. Something close to that. I was telling the ladies here before our pre-show, I used to live in a house that was a morgue in the early 1900s. It was the Victorian house. It was so old it had Victorian it had these Gothic style windows in it still. And,
okay, this is sounding very much like the house where I saw mine.
Yeah,
I don't know that it used to be a morgue or anything, but it's very that style.
Well, I only remember that because me and my brother, we were probably 7, 8 years old, and we finally were going to have our own rooms. And when the realtor told the history of the house, me and my brother were going to live in these 2 separate rooms in the basement. And my parents had to redo the whole entire thing because when we got down there were just floors, but these floors were on an incline to a center point.
Drainage floors.
It was drainage floors. That's where they did all the.
Oh my God, man!
And me and my brother lived in these rooms. You have to remember that. That's why we saw a lot of crap. Just our window blinds went up all the same night, all at the same time. I had a deadlocked door that was open. I remember waking up and the door was open, and my brother's door was open. Crazy things, and you couldn't open these things there was no key for it, and you would literally have to ram these things open. But getting back to the whole point of the black figure, there was a 2-family house, and there was families living upstairs, and this one family had 12, 13 family members, and one of them decided to live in the attic. And the girl that was in the attic, she woke up to this 8-foot tall black figure, and it was just staring at her, and she was paralyzed and she could not move. And that family moved out, and then a Marine and his family lived up there next. And this Marine, he's been through many tours of war. He's not afraid of anything. Also reading a book saw a black figure walk right by his door, and he told my parents, like, we're done. I can't deal with this.
I got to tell you, man, that is so much like almost exactly like my story. Okay, where I saw this was at a girlfriend's house, and their family only lived there for like a year. They moved around a lot in that time, but they were only in that house for a short time. But it was a split level house. And so me and my girlfriend were sitting on the couch in the living room, middle of the afternoon. So it's bright, sunny still outside, and there's plenty of light coming through the windows and everything. This is on the front of the house. If you walk in the front door, you walk into a landing, and there's steps that go down on the left to the basement area, and then steps on the right that go into the living room. So if you're sitting in the living room, there's a little handrail, and you can see down to the door. Okay. So we're sitting on the couch, and out of the corner, we're watching TV, and out of the corner of my eye, I see a perfect man-shaped shadow on the wall of like going down the steps to the front door. And not like normally if there's a shadow on the wall, you'd still see texture or something. It wouldn't, this was black.
Yeah.
Solid black, and just standing there. And then when I looked at it, it vanished. So I brushed it off until I noticed she sitting next to me is frozen and stammers out, "Did you see that?"
Yeah.
I'm like, on the stairs, and she's like, "Yeah."
They say the reptiles can astral project too, and when they do that, they look like shadow people.
Oh, don't say that, because I have that whatever in my house. It better not be a damn reptile. I can deal with shadow being the idea that the whole ghost shit. Like, I'm cool with it, but not the reptiles, man. I can't rock with that.
I gotta say a couple other things with Woke Society's experiences mirrored my own in that house. That was me and hers only experiences, but her younger brother and sister, her brother would always wake up in the middle of the night hearing steps thumping up and down the hallway when everyone else was asleep. And her sister woke up with sleep paralysis once, felt like something was laying on top of her, choking her.
Yeah, that happened to my mom. She
was,
was,
and it only happened to them in that house. I knew that family for a long time, only in that house.
We had to get our preacher, our pastor at the time, to come over, because my parents were depending on that rent to pay their mortgage in that 2-family house, and families were moving out within months of coming in. They're like, we ain't staying up there anymore. He blessed the house, and that part started, and then we started to get the children ghost in my room and jumping on my bed and stuff, which I end up getting comfortable. It's crazy, but I end up getting comfortable with it to the point where I could feel them walking in my bed, jumping up and down the edge, and just like, well, it is what it is.
You learn to share space when it's okay.
Co-mingle, but I had that presence that I knew they were kids. They were young kid ghosts, and they were just playing around. But I didn't see the black figure myself, and I'm so glad I didn't. But that's got to be scary, man. It's got to be scary. The fact that it paralyzed the girl that saw it, it reminds me of that story of my mom, where she felt like this demon thing literally laid on top of her and was choking, and then she was screaming Jesus, and this thing left.
Oh, well,
that's exactly what happened to me.
The girl next to me, she wasn't literally paralyzed by the thing. She was just like scared and frozen in fear, I guess.
Yeah.
But real quick, I do want to mention a little bit more about the light orb UFO, because I believe there was a consciousness aspect to it. It was one of those things, sitting in the backyard at night, looking up and not paying attention to it because it wasn't a spectacular thing, but because it looked just like the moon, like just right over the tree line, not zipping around or anything, just sitting there, about the same size and luminosity of the moon. Until the moment I looked at it and thought, wait, that's not the moon. And the moment I thought that, it clicked out. Just like you turn off a light.
And everything about this reality is, everything's
wild.
A conspiracy. All of it.
Everything.
Basically.
Right?
Yeah, they're all true and more. Basically. That's What about you, Scott? What you think?
Oh man, that's why, like, I've had these, I feel like I've seen a lot between being in church, having seen these ghosts, the experiences my mom went through that she told us when we were growing up, to where I've gotten. I've just said anyone that says that they know it all of what's going on in this universe and this planet, they don't know what they're talking about. And I really, it's opened my mind up to accept more people that have had these experiences, because a lot of them sound the same, and a lot of them are just like, you don't know unless you've gone through it yourself. You really don't. And you can't a lot of people like to discount things and just brush it off and just say, oh, they're just dreams, or they're just this and that. There's so much more that we just don't understand, or just we're not able to understand yet. But I'm just glad, it makes me feel better that it's not just us.
Absolutely. I want to say I really appreciate everyone on board on this, everyone in the chat, everyone that is a part of this community, because it's hard to find people in real life, so to speak, nearby to connect with on this kind of stuff. And but it's a global community. We just have to find each other, and I think we are.
We absolutely are, my friend. That's what we built Foxhole for. It's exactly what we did it for.
Yeah, and it's turning into something magnificent too. It really is.
Right.
The energy in there is just different from everywhere else. It's just it's taking on a life of its own. It's got its own jokes, its own memes, its own everything. It's just becoming its own thing. It's great.
For sure.
Yeah, thank you, Nick, for calling in. Thank you for sharing your stories.
Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah,
when
much
you call
love
in, my
as
friend.
always.
Is there any last thing you wanted to say to Woke Societies before we let you go?
No, just
Okay.
thank you all so much, and God bless.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Much love. Have
Much
a great
love.
night. Oh yeah. All I know is we don't know anything.
That's my takeaway.
That's
Right.
that's the closing line I have for this show.
We know nothing.
Yeah, we know.
He said Alara was a dinosaur at one point.
That is definitely true.
Except that I was a
Definitely
Larasaurus.
true. Alarasaurus.
And that Scott and I are potentially our higher selves or blue extraterrestrials.
Blue, right? Something
Somewhat,
about
yeah.
the Blue Man crew, right?
And that's pretty much all we know at this point. But Foil, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My only thing I would say for people that really would want to try something crazy to spur on, when I had that vision of me protecting that pyramid, I was in a deprivation tank for about an hour and a half, where I was in I had my music and I was floating on this water. And when I was having my readings done, the psychics were telling me you have a connection with water. So whatever your abilities are, they can be amplified if you're in water, you have water around you. So I was like, I'm gonna go try a deprivation tank, and that's exactly what I did. And I floated in this thing, and that's when I had those insane visions of me being this blue being guarding this ancient pyramid by myself on an entire planet. And that's where it happened. So if anyone's looking to spur things on, I would suggest maybe trying a deprivation tank and getting into some deep meditation and have everything off and just float and see where your mind takes you.
Right.
I'm down with that. I'm gonna have to try that outside of the bathtub, somewhere other. It doesn't work out so good in the bathtub for me. I try it though. I do it all the time.
Need salt water, man.
Big tank, yeah. And you just float. You just have your body out there. You got the little pillow so your neck doesn't sink, and you got the earplugs. And you're just floating.
Where can you go do that? Can I do it in the ocean, like in Florida, or what? Where can I do it? I mean,
There's places you can do it. Like out here, it's called the city's New Paltz. It's about 45 minutes away, but they have it's a building. It's almost like a spa, and they have three different tanks.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, so you can actually go. It's really not that much money. You pay in your session. It's usually an hour. I wouldn't do more than like an hour and a half, because you don't know what's gonna happen when you wake back up.
You don't know where you're gonna go, where you're gonna end up.
You're just floating, and then you come flying down or something.
Ooh, this sounds fun. I'm gonna have to do this.
Right.
See if I can hook back up with
Alarasaurus.
Alarasaurus.
To my house.
Have a talk. You know what I mean? Find out what's really going on. You know what I'm saying?
They got some here, Alara. Apparently close to my house.
There you go.
I'm gonna have to try that out. Let's all go flying. You know what I mean?
Who knew?
Don't do it in the ocean. You don't want to float. You don't want to end up.
All right, I'll do it. I'll go to the deprivation tank near Foyle's house. All right, it's on. It's on for sure.
Sounds like a plan, man.
Man, this has been this has been really a fun episode, and it's been great hanging out with you, Scott. Thanks for taking the time to come on. I know you have a crazy busy schedule. You work so hard. Yeah, we really, really appreciate it, man.
No, this was fun. I love not talking about news, so this was great.
Isn't it great?
I know, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's totally the thing.
I get tired watching you do the news sometimes.
I don't blame you. I really don't. That's why I was excited to do this, because we didn't talk any news at all. We just talked aliens and crazy experiences, and it was just fun. I had a great time.
Well, thanks for joining us for sure.
Of course.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What'd you say, Scott? I didn't hear you.
Definitely do this again for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Anytime. Sometime in the future for sure. Hey,
maybe we can do ghosts next time.
Something.
I'm down.
Sound like y'all know all about the ghosts. I don't know nothing. And I couldn't handle that. I'd run out the house. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be gone. There's no way.
You can hang. I see the look on your face. Like you can rock with the aliens.
Oh,
but the ghost
ETs
shit,
all
you're
day.
Like,
I'm good. Ghosts, no.
Right. Like I don't know about that. I'm
nope.
telling you, it's wild.
I'd be with some sage all day long. Sage in the house, opening. I'd be on one with that until I'd try to solve the problem. If I couldn't solve it, I'd be gone.
We'll see.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'll
I guess we will.
tell you about my kids. I think Liam sees things too. We can tell those stories next time. Because my wife had to bless the apartment. Probably about 6 months ago. He kept looking in the same spot in the corner of the room, just staring at it. And this was going on for weeks. And we're just like, he was having nightmares. It was crazy. The whole thing.
The kids can see beyond the veil, man. They can see stuff. I'm telling you. I've watched it too many times.
Yeah.
They can see.
Super good. Their minds are already there. I mean, that's people always say, like, you need to bring your mind back to a children's brain.
Yes.
That's the kids. It's already there for them. That's their reality.
Yep. We program them away from that is what happens. As they grow up, but they come in, open to whatever,
Unsullied.
Right? That's the whole point, right? Now imagine if we could evolve that way and not be programmed.
That was the book that I told you about, The Conversations with God. The whole journey is to get your brain and your body back to being like a child. As crazy as that sounds.
Yes.
Hey, Jesus says, "Come with the mind of a child."
Yes,
man.
that's it.
The main theme.
I try to tell people this all the time, and I know I sound I'm like, you have to find your way back to who you were before all of this. And that's how you start to get abilities and you start to connect with your, you know what I mean? Like I tell people that, but I know and people are like, but that's why I'm so childish. People, because I'm trying to connect with God. That's why. There's a reason I'm the way that I am.
Alarasaurus,
yeah.
Right?
Shut up, Foil. All right. So
I'm not. No, it'll never die.
Yeah. Great. I can see it coming now.
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
so thank you to all the mods. Thank you for everybody hanging out. Sorry, I don't know if we got pulled off YouTube or not. It really doesn't matter.
No,
so,
we were up.
Nice.
We were up the whole time.
All right, cool.
They put us back up.
Well, that's good. Great. It must be you, Scott. They really love you over there. So
yeah, they were like,
YouTube
yay.
loves me.
Right?
I'm a channel killer. Sorry, guys.
All right, man. Thank you for coming on. Much love, Scott.
Lemon scratching.
Oh, lemons in the scratch. Oh, yeah. Well, thank God I have my wingman because
right.
Yeah, you guys got some gold pills tonight. You guys did great.
Yeah, woohoo!
All right.
Much love to you guys. Thank you for that. Right.
One more minute,
A little
Liam.
woke.
We just gotta get rid of the gold pills, and then you're in like Flynn.
Right.
Okay, release the lotto tickets. Focus, Alara, focus. I'm clicking on it, but it ain't happening. Oh no, it's released,
buddy.
guys. Get your scratching. Step right up and get your scratching. It is released. We are winning. All right, hold on.
There they go.
Let me get the lemons out of here. Let me get the lemons out of
Hero.
here.
Wow.
I never win either. Right.
I got a fat donut. It's funny. People are like, it hates me.
Hero.
It's completely random,
Right.
guys. It's random.
Thank you, M1911 Zoom for the can.
Lemons are
Much
going
love to
out
ya.
on D Live. I think. Well, yep. I think. We hope. Sure.
Maybe,
They might be.
right?
Yeah, I think so. So there you go on that. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a wonderful evening. We will see. Oh wait, hold on. First,
wait.
Who's Scott? What do you got coming up next as far as shows? What's going on with you?
Tomorrow, I'm just doing my 5:30 p.m. Eastern show. Saturday, I'm going to be seeing some of my best friends before we finally depart New York. And then Sunday, I'm going to be doing the official Get Out of New York stream, anniversary with my wife's stream at 5 p.m. Eastern. And we're just going to hang out. You guys can hear really funny stories about me and my wife, how we met and how embarrassing.
Awesome.
You guys will be able to relish more in my demise. So,
sounds like a party.
Out there, I know
Right.
Matthew will probably be there. He'll be first one in the chat, and it'll be a really good time.
All right.
Awesome.
That sounds awesome.
Right.
Foil, what about you? What do you got going on?
Tomorrow's conspiracy theory trivia with Tyler Koala, and then apparently Tuesday, woke societies will be hanging out with me talking about
Tuesday?
houses and chairs on Tuesday.
Oh, he's gonna get the
Right.
house. Oh, you just wait.
Yeah.
What?
Look,
Oh,
he
she's
has
gonna
no idea.
interrogate
He's
you.
like,
Oh, you've
what?
never seen her interviews? Oh, they're fantastic. Oh, this is gonna be great. Yeah, this is
Like,
great.
he's
No,
like,
they're great.
I don't know what I signed up for.
Yeah, they're great. She's great.
I'm gonna have COVID on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm definitely gonna have to come over. There's gonna be a lot going on. So I guess I will. Let's see. Saturday I will be on with Season Pixels on the Foxhole. I don't know whatever other platforms he's on, but I'll be on there with Patriot Freestyle, Drunk Pinata, and Tennessee Homesteader, doing the Devolution document. The last 3 or 4 parts of it. We'll be going through that, reading that, and talking about it. So I'll be on there. Let's see, Saturday and then Sunday, Space Force News, 6 p.m. Pacific,
Space Force News.
9 p.m. Eastern. And I think that's about Friends. I think that's about it, Friends, for the rest of this week.
Right?
All right. Alara needs to go to bed now. Good night, everybody.
See you guys.
Much love.